Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? We haven't done power rankings for quite a while. Let's get to it. And good evening, baseball fans. Hello, hello, hello. Right around 200 people in the chat. What is going on, everyone? How are we doing? We got some moderators here in the chat. We got some members here in the chat. A lot of familiar faces in here. What is going on? My goodness, the Padres stink against the Dodgers. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. It's like, what is, I don't get it. Why can't that team beat the Dodgers, like, ever? My goodness. It's absolutely crazy. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? Moderators, thank you for coming out tonight, for being here, just in case those bots come up. They're always coming up here in the chat all the time. So, moderators, I appreciate everything you do. Conman752, what's going on? Action Jackson, hello. John Sullivan, hello, my friend. How you doing? Everyone, welcome back to Power Rankings. We definitely took a bit of a break there. And, hey, we had the All-Star game. We had the trade deadline. So, to me, I feel like probably end up being probably every year I end up taking a few weeks off of the power rankings just because that's just the way it ends up working out. I wanted to do the power rankings, this past Sunday, but I just figured, we're getting close to the deadline at that point. So, figured that to me is going to be more important than the power rankings. And, hey, I just, during that time, I like talking all the trade rumors and everything else going on. So, power rankings, I feel like it's always good to take a couple of weeks off from it. So, but we are back with them tonight. We got a lot of changes from the last time. I'm pretty excited about it, and we got a lot of changes, honestly, because I was looking back. The last time we did power rankings, we were at what was the date? July 10th. So almost a month. Yeah, almost a month, like about 3 days. So. Pretty crazy. But yeah, there's definitely some changes here. Just kind of looking at the last power rankings that we had. Pretty, we got some moves here. We got some teams moving up. We got some teams moving down. And it's going to be a fun one. So before I do get started with everything, if you can, hit that subscribe button if you are new. I'm seeing over 200 people in the chat. Everyone, if you can, hit that like button for me. Let's go with, what's the goal for tonight? Let's go, let's go 150. Can we get 150 likes tonight? I think we can do it. Why not? Everyone, hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I go live, every Sunday night. And there might be a couple of nights where I do it on a Monday, so stay tuned for that. So you want to hit that bell notification. That way you just know every time I am going live. And also, if you can, everyone, share the stream for me. That's going to help it get out there, get some more people in here. And that is all. All righty, everyone. Oh, also, everyone, don't forget, we are partners with SeatGeek. If you would like to have $20 off your first purchase when it comes to getting some tickets, use my code HYDE, $20 off your first purchase. You can go find yourself a pretty good deal on SeatGeek. I mean, I'm not just saying this just because we're partners with them, but I have found myself a couple of deals on there before. Just talking from experience here. But definitely, if you are looking to go to a game, absolutely go check it out. And don't forget, we are partners with Prize Picks. If you are into the sports betting game, then definitely go give Prize Picks a chance. Use my code Ginger. You'll get a 100% deposit match, and that's pretty good if you ask me. If you deposit $20, they'll give you $20. So Alrighty, everyone. Hold on one second. I'm just getting this all started here, getting the tier maker set up. You guys know me. I always forget to do something. And, of course, the tier, I had all my notes ready. I got all my rankings ready. But, of course, I forgot to get the tier maker all set up here. So, alrighty. Let me just get the colors all set here. Oh, I am going to do a bit of a different thing tonight. So, if there are any super chats that come on in, I'm going to try a new thing. The super chats will still pop up on the screen if there are any that do come in. But I'm going to wait until the end to read them. That way we can kind of just get through the power rankings. That way we're not getting paused. Alrighty, so if you are here for the first time for our power rankings, this is how I do it. We use tier maker on here. As you can see, we have 6 different tiers, 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, 16 through 20, 21 through 25, and 26 through 30. I start at 30 and I go all the way to number 1. Usually with the bottom 15, I tend to kind of roll through those teams pretty quick. I'll kind of say a quick little thing. And with the top 15, I give a little more of what I'm thinking about those teams. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming in at number 30, we got the Nationals. This Nationals team, man, they've been at the bottom of the barrel this entire season, but they have just, without Juan Soto now, because that was the one thing with the Nationals. Because, it's like, all right, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the Nationals, but let's see how Juan Soto's doing. Well, now there's, really not anything to talk about. We got some young players on there, but not a whole lot going on, man. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They've lost 5 straight. They got absolutely pummeled by the Phillies this past weekend. That was an absolute embarrassment. But the Nationals, hey, man, you just got a lot of young players back in that deal with Soto. So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it right now with the Nationals. They're coming in at number 30 here. Coming in at number 29, we have the Detroit Tigers. Man, just looking back on this Tigers team this year, I remember last year, the Tigers, there were so many fun pieces on that team. They were that team. They were the overachievers last year. And, just to see the way they are this year, it's sad. It's disappointing. The fact that they're here, to me, they should be at least in the range of 20 through 15. They should be at least there. And it's just crazy to think how bad this Tigers team has been, man. They're 3-7 in the last 10. In the last 7 games in Major League Baseball, they ranked dead last in offense. They've had a good bullpen this year, but that's pretty much it with the Tigers, man. That's pretty much it. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Coming in at number 28, we got the Oakland A's. With the Oakland, they didn't have a bad week necessarily. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Angels, but they did lose both to the Giants this past weekend. They are getting some good offense from Sean Murphy, Seth Brown, and Ramon Laureano, so those are some positives, I guess. But the bullpen, last 7 games, they have a 6.70 FIP. Not a whole lot going on there. Oakland A's coming in at number 28. And number 27, I got the Chicago Cubs. At number 27, the Chicago Cubs. I got my numbers all mixed up here. What the heck is going on? Anyway, but the Cubs, this past week, they were swept by the Cardinals. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. They lost today. Jesus Luzardo, man, wow, he looked great today for Miami. Drew Smyly, he pitched well into the 7th inning against the Marlins yesterday. But other than that, not really a whole lot going on with the Cubs, man. Coming in at number 26, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates. They did sweep Milwaukee this week. Hey, good for them, man. Taking it to Milwaukee, but then they lose 2 out of 3 to Baltimore. What's going on there, man? O'Neal Cruz, he was having a bit of a power surge this week. 3 home runs. Ben Gambles has also been hitting pretty well. So, other than that, though, the bullpen has actually been pretty good for the Pirates lately. Pretty solid numbers coming out of there. Bednar continues to pitch really well. But for the Pirates, not a whole lot going on, man. Moving on to the next tier, we're going with the Kansas City Royals at number 25. Hey, I just got a nice, good look at the Kansas City Royals this past weekend, and hey, They look pretty good, man. They look pretty good. MJ Melendez drove in 6 today. The rookies combined for 12 RBIs in today's game. They won 3 out of 4 against my Red Sox, but they lost 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. So up and down week for the Royals. But hey, give them a lot of credit, man. They took advantage of just a slumping team right now with my Red Sox. And hey, looking all right. Brad Keller looked all right today too, man. Looked all right. Coming in at number 23. No, sorry, number 24, we got the LA Angels. You know, I'm missing a team on this list. I don't know who I'm missing here, but there is something. My list is missing a team. We're going to have to figure out what team I left off, because right now it's saying that I have the Angels at 23, but that's not right because they're supposed to be at number 24. Anyway, the Angels, this team stinks. I'm so tired of this Angels team. I remember saying this exact thing last year. I remember just saying, like, I'm tired of this Angels team, man. This organization is the most tiring organization. Like, I can't stand it. Artie Moreno needs to go. He needs to get out. Get out. Go. Sell the team. I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of it. Like, honestly, if you want my real thoughts on the Angels, sell the team. I'm just, like, so over it, man. I mean, to me, the good baseball move. Now, you could have a different look at this next year, but I mean, I don't know. I digress. But Ohtani, I feel like should have been traded. That's just my opinion. I don't know. To me, you should have cashed in on that guy's value. You have no idea how he's going to be health-wise next year. And his value is only going to get lower the closer he gets to free agency. I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, the Angels, this organization stinks. Like, I don't know. Artie Moreno, he needs to go, dude. You split with the Mariners. You did lose 2 out of 3 to Oakland. Tucker Davidson had his first start with the Angels today. He got blown up. But that's pretty much it with the Angels, man. It's they're just an embarrassment. Coming in next, we have the Colorado Rockies coming in at number 23. Lost 4 out of 5 against the Padres and lost 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. This Rockies team, I don't know, man. CJ Cron, he's been hitting well lately, but other than that, they're 23rd in offense, 28th in starting pitching, and the bullpen has an ERA over 7 over the last week. Not a whole lot going on with the Rockies. You know, hey, let's give a lot of credit here to the Cincinnati Reds. Remember, they were the cellar dwellers for quite a while this year, but they have moved all the way up to number 22 on my power rankings. My goodness. 2 out of 3 against the Marlins, or they won 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. Milwaukee. No, they won 2 out of 3 against the Marlins, and they won 2 out of 3 against the Brewers as well. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Not a whole lot of offense, but they've been getting some good pitching. Hunter Green, Ashcraft, they've been pitching really well lately, man. Hey, this Reds team, it's a different team from what it was, you know, that first month and a half. Man, a completely different team. Hey, no more Luis Castillo there. No more Tyler Mahle. But, hey, the Reds, they're playing all right baseball lately. Taking a look, coming in. You know who I just realized? I think I had the Arizona Diamondbacks at number 22. Not a whole lot going on with the Diamondbacks, man. You're not really getting a lot of great pitching. Offense is kind of slumping lately. Just not a whole lot here, man. Not a whole lot with the Diamondbacks. Another disappointing team to me, man. I was really thinking maybe the Diamondbacks could come into this year having, you know, maybe a better season. They were looking okay at one point, but I don't know, man. There's not enough talent on this Diamondbacks team. Coming in at number 20, going to the next tier, we have the Miami Marlins. 3-7 in their last 10. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds and the Cubs this week. The offense has just been dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. They're 29th in their last 7, but the starting pitching, the expected numbers are a lot better for the Marlins lately. They have a 2.34 FIP over their last 7 games coming into today. And then Jesus Luzardo was out of his mind today against the Cubs. A 1-hitter over 7 innings. He looked fantastic. Bullpen's been okay, but the Marlins, once again, they're just lacking offense. So hopefully some of these bats over the next year or two can come up and start helping out that Marlins lineup. Coming in at number 19, I got the Rangers. I got the Rangers. Hey, the Rangers, they were kind of hanging tough there for a little while, but their overall talent, it's showing that it's just not quite enough. But the Rangers, I got to give them credit here. The bullpen has actually looked pretty good over the last 7 games. They ranked 9th overall in Fangraph WAR. It's just the offense and the starting pitching. They both rank bottom 10 in Fangraph WAR. Actually, a big reason the starting pitching does not rank very well is because of Spencer Howard and John Gray. Those guys got hit hard in their last starts. My goodness. But Dane Dunning, Reagans, Perez, and Otto all looked pretty good this past week. So they are getting some good starting pitching, but their overall ranking isn't very good with the starting pitching lately just because of a couple of bad starts. But other than that, you're not getting a whole lot of offense with the Rangers. Corey Seager, he's been doing a little bit, but I don't know, man. The Rangers, they're just not quite there yet. I do expect them to once again be big spenders on the market this coming off season, or at least maybe go after some trades. So coming in number 18, I got the San Francisco Giants. Hey, swept by the Dodgers, but they won both against the Oakland A's this weekend. Starting pitching. The ERA over the last week is a 5.23, but the FIP is a 2.65. So better starting pitching than you would think with the San Francisco Giants. Like the Rangers, though, the offense, bullpen, rank bottom 10. So not getting a whole lot of help there. Joey Bart, though, he's been hitting really well over his last 7 games, hitting over 400 in his last 7 games. So give him some credit. Let's see if the Giants can claw their way back into this thing. Number 17, we got my Red Sox. Okay, I'm going to say this right now. Can we please get Jarren Duran out of center field? Please get him out of center field. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. I understand. Center field's hard. If you put my dopey self out there, I would do 50 times worse than him. But get this guy out of center field. I'm sorry. To me, I don't know. I know the sun can be problematic and everything, but this isn't just this one time. There's been so many other times he has just looked absolutely ridiculous out there. Get this guy out of there. Get him out. Get him out. I can't take it anymore of this guy. The guy has a great bat. He's going to be electric, man. But seriously, we got to do something about this, man. I don't know what the heck's going on. Kind of a weird week for the Red Sox. Obviously, you're trading away Christian Vasquez, a franchise kind of a player. But then you go on to win 2 out of 3 against the Astros, right? Obviously, the Astros are a good team this year, and you won 2 out of 3 on the road. So that was okay, cool. All right, maybe this Red Sox team were looking pretty good. And then you lose 3 out of 4 to the Royals. What are you doing? Oh, Cutter Crawford, he's been pretty solid lately, but he looked bad today. Also, send Darwinzon Hernandez to the sun. I'm done. Get this guy out of here. Get him out. Get out. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Jarren Duran's defense in center field and Darwinzon Hernandez on the mound. Listen, I wanted Darwinzon Hernandez at one point to be the future closer of this team. I think he has the ability, but dude, this guy stinks. Please send him to the sun. I can't take it anymore. Bottom 10 in offense and starting pitching over their last 7. Bullpen, they took a couple of losses this week. There's just not a whole lot to talk about with this Red Sox team. Pham homered today, so that was pretty cool. But really, the most of the offense is coming from Verdugo, Arroyo. They've both been hitting pretty well. Other than that, though, just not a whole lot when you look at the overall numbers. Sure, Dahlback, he's had some power lately, but I don't know. It's just, I'm sorry. I don't know. This team's just really frustrating right now. I don't know. I was kind of wondering this today. It's should they have just traded Bogarts? I don't know. My thinking behind that was there even a deal out there? That's what I'm thinking, man. If Bloom was willing to trade Christian Vasquez, come on. He probably would have traded Bogarts. I don't think there was a deal out there that was even worth it. To me, it's it was probably just more worth it to keep him and just see if maybe you can get back into this thing. But I guarantee you, if there was a deal out there that was worthwhile, I think he would have done it. I just don't think there was. That's just my own opinion. I don't know, but the way this Red Sox team looks right now, the fact that you still have Bogarts on the team, I don't know. I feel like if this is the way the Red Sox are going to look until the end of the season, to me, it's I don't know. if there was an opportunity to trade Bogarts, you probably should have done it. But I don't think there was. That's just my own opinion. I think maybe they got an offer or two, and they probably just didn't like the prospects that were being offered, so they just kept them. Anyway, I digress. The Red Sox stink lately. I don't know what's going on. You lose 3 out of 4 to the Royals. Just kill me. Number 15. No, who do we got next? We got number 16. We got the White Sox coming in at number 16. This White Sox team, man, if we go take a look at the standings, they're right there. They're right there, man. I'm telling you, this White Sox team, dude, they got a run in them. They do. I got a good hunch about these things, man. I told all of you, the Mariners had a run in them. And then they ended up winning, 14 straight games? And then bada bing, bada boom, here they are back in the playoff race. So the White Sox, they got a run in them. And I think they will end up making the playoffs in some way, shape, or form. There's too much talent on this team. But they're right there. They're right there within striking distance. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing some kind of a one-game playoff. Don't be surprised about that. Because the Twins, they're just hanging around at the top. They're taking advantage of a bad division. They got off to a pretty good start this year. But the White Sox are just slowly but surely climbing their way back in here. 2 games out in the division, 3 out in the wild card. I'll be honest, I think the White Sox, if you were to ask me right now, I bet you we see a 1-game playoff between those two. I just feel like they're going to do enough to get back into it. But as for the numbers for the White Sox, lately, doing pretty good. 1, 2 out of 3 against the Royals. They did split with Texas over the weekend. They did score 8 today, but not a whole lot of offense overall with the White Sox lately. Now, the starting pitching and the relief pitching have been nails. Very good. Dylan Cease, Lucas Giolito, Lance Lynn, they've all looked fantastic. That's why I'm hopeful of this White Sox team. They got good starting pitching. Good starting pitching. So I'm pretty excited about the White Sox moving forward. So, also, I do have because of the whole playoff format, they still do they? You can still have a 1-game playoff, right? I don't see why you couldn't. Right? Yeah, you can still have a 1-game playoff for a division. Yeah, even though you got the expanded playoffs and everything. I don't know. Whatever. Number 15. Let's get into the top half. We're right at 460 people. Oh, it is. Oh, you can't do the 1-game playoffs anymore. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, I must have missed that. I figured maybe there was something maybe they tweaked with that. I don't know. God, there's so many little details, man. About ever since they expanded the playoffs, it's I feel like people don't even fully know how this stuff is going to work. Anyway, let's move on. With the Guardians coming in at number 15, hey, we're looking at this division race right now, man. 56 and 52. They're 1 game behind Minnesota, 2 games out in the wild card. Playing pretty good baseball lately. 6 and 4 in their last 10. They've won 2 straight. With the Guardians, they split with the Diamondbacks and Houston this week. Tristan McKenzie looked phenomenal. He looked phenomenal today. 8 shutout innings against the Astros. He's been pretty good this year. A 3.10 ERA, a 3.93 FIP, 8.6 strikeouts per 9. Solid season for Tristan McKenzie. He's been pitching really well lately, man. You got to give him a lot of credit going out there today. 8 shutout innings. But overall, the Guardians, their offense, kind of as a whole lately, not great. Starting pitching besides McKenzie today has not been amazing. Bullpen has been really good. 7th overall in Fangraph WAR over the last 7 games. The Guardians, they're hanging tough, man. They're hanging tough. I told all of you before the season, you can go find it in my preseason predictions. I told you Cleveland, they're going to be right there the whole year. And they're doing it. They're right there. I didn't say they were going to make the playoffs. I don't think I did. Did I say they were going to make the playoffs? No, I think I just had them barely missing. But I was saying here, they're going to be a tough team, and they were going to hang around. And that's what they're doing. So, number 15 for the Guardians. And I almost put the Guardians at number 14. But I just really like the way the Orioles are playing lately, man. They're just playing some good baseball. I got them coming in at number 14. Last year, the Mariners were America's team. This year, It's the Baltimore Orioles. It's the Baltimore Orioles. Even after trading away Jorge Lopez and Trey Mancini, who is doing really good with the Astros right now. The Orioles, man, they're just playing well. They're playing great baseball lately. They swept the Rangers this past week. They won 2 out of 3 against Pittsburgh. Rushman, Mullins, Mateo, they've all been hitting well. Starting pitching has been fantastic for the Orioles lately. Second overall over the last 7 games coming into today. A 3.26 ERA, but a FIP over the last 7 games with their bullpen. The bullpen has been pretty nails all year, one of the better bullpens in the game. But I wonder, now that Jorge Lopez is now on the Minnesota Twins, I wonder if you're going to start to see some cracks in that bullpen a little bit moving forward. Not a big fan of that FIP, or FIP over 5. So be aware of the Orioles bullpen moving forward, but they're playing great baseball lately, man. So I give them the number 14 spot. Coming in at number 13, this team is slump-a-lumping lately, man. The Milwaukee Brewers. I almost put the Orioles in front of the Brewers, man. I almost did it. The Brewers, they stink lately. 4-6 in their last 10. They've lost 2 out of 3. They lost 2 out of 3 to Cincinnati this past week. They got swept by Pittsburgh. Starting pitching, 22nd last 7 games. Bullpen, 27th. Man, oh, man. Devin Williams, man, not a great week. Had earned the loss against Pittsburgh. He blew the game today. Man, I don't know. Should they have hung on to Josh Hader? I don't know about that. They all were pretty bummed out, man, about Josh Hader leaving. They were bummed out. I don't know, man. I wonder. Hopefully this isn't going to affect this team, man. I mean, they did bring in a lot of good relief pitching back, to replace Hader in the bullpen, but I don't know. Devin Williams not looking too sharp this past week. He had a couple of good outings, but not the sharpest he could be. Conman752, thank you for the $10 super chat. We'll get to that at the end. Everyone, make sure you hang out after the power rankings so we can look at some super chats. I'm going to try a little bit of a different way I'm going to be doing things. I'm going to try it for the next couple of streams. Just going to do super chats at the end. So, number 12, I got the Twins. Got the Twins at number 12. Split with Toronto over the weekend. They won 2 out of 3 against Detroit. They're 10th in offense, 14th in starting pitching, 2nd in relief pitching over the last 7 games. The Twins, they're looking all right, man. Nick Gordon, he's hitting over 500 the last week. Jose Miranda's been driving in runs left and right. Joe Ryan looked pretty good this week out of the rotation. Chris Archer, he actually looked pretty good today. 5 innings for Chris Archer today. So, the Twins, they're just playing good baseball. I have them coming in at number 12. Number 11, I got the Mariners. Coming in at number 11. I really like the way this Mariners team is looking right now, man. They were red hot there for a little while. They have come back down to earth a little bit, but man, they won 2 out of 3 against the Yankees this past week. The split with the Angels is a little deflating to me because it's like, man, come on, you gotta win 3 out of 4 against the Angels there, man, or whatever, or 2 out of 3. You gotta win that series against the Angels, man. It was a 4-game series, so yeah, they should have won 3 out of 4, man. But those division games, man, they're always tough. Grand slam today for Jesse Winker. Gotta love what Jesse Winker's been doing lately. He's been hitting the ball pretty well. But other than that, not amazing offense or starting pitching overall lately. But the bullpen, fantastic. They're 4th overall in Fangraph WAR over the last 7 games. Luis Castillo looked really good against the Yankees this past week. First start with the Mariners. He looked great. Luis Castillo is going to be big for this Mariners team, man. I told all of you before the season, the Mariners, ALCS, Luis Castillo, is he going to carry this team all the way to the ALCS? I think he has that kind of potential. I really think he is that kind of a guy. Put him in the playoffs, he'll put the team on his back. I could see Luis Castillo being that kind of a guy. But they got the Yankees again this week, so that's going to be another big series. Let's see if the Mariners can win another series against the Yankees. We'll talk about the Yankees in just a little bit. We have reached the top 10. We got 550 people in this chat. Everyone, the light goal for tonight is 150. Don't forget, Hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I go live. If you are new in the chat right now, think about subscribing down below. Share the stream if you can. And all right, let's get back to it. Don't forget, we are partners with SeatGeek. Use my code HYDE, $20 off your first purchase. And we are partners with Prize Picks as well. Use my code GINGER for a 100% deposit match. All right, let's get back to it. Here we go. Top 10. Here we go. At number 10, I got the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm liking the way the Rays are playing lately, man. They're getting some guys healthy. Brandon Lau, he came back a couple of weeks ago. He's been looking all right, man. He's been looking all right. He hit pretty well this past week. They scored 7 runs in the 9th inning today, man. My goodness. And actually, they set a franchise record for walks in their game against the Tigers over the weekend. A franchise record 13 walks in a game. And I actually decided to go look it up. What was the most walks for a team of all time? And actually, the most all-time for walks in a game was 18. That was set by the Detroit Tigers in 1916. And then the Cleveland Indians, not the Guardians, Cleveland Indians, they tied that in 1948. So, pretty interesting. Hitting well lately, pitching well lately. Like I said, Brandon Lau, he's been hitting well lately. Shane McClanahan, a little cold lately. He's been looking great all season, but he's had a couple of bumpy starts. But Jeffrey Springs, Rasmussen, they look pretty good this past week. Bullpen, back to being that Rays bullpen. Not the same Rays bullpen that we've been used to over the last couple of years in the first few months of the season, but they are looking really good lately. 8th overall in the last 7 games. Moving on to number 9. Oh my goodness, this Padres team, they can't beat the Dodgers. I'm sorry, Padres fans, man. I don't know. You don't want to run into this Dodgers team in the playoffs, man. You want to avoid that Dodgers team as much as possible. You know what? Let me actually go see here. MLB playoffs if started today. All right, what would these look like? Okay, let's try this one. Nope, that's not it. Is there like some kind of a website that can show us what the playoffs would look like today? Is it this? Let's see. Nope. That's not it. I don't know. Well, not really helping me there. So, whatever. I'm not going to figure out who's sitting here in the playoffs as of right now. But if you're a Padres fan, I'm sorry. You guys stink against the Dodgers. And, like, it's embarrassing at this point. What the heck are we... What are we doing? All right, fine. I'll go to the standings. I see a couple of people in the... Here we go. So, okay. So, as of right now, the Yankees would have the bye in the American League. And then, Houston, if it started today, Houston is right behind them for the number 1 seed. So you would have, let's see. All right. Let's see. So how does it go again? I'm having trouble remembering. The number 2 seed. No, it's the first 2 seeds get the bye, right? Oh my goodness. Here we go. MLB playoff the bracket. So how does it go again? 1 and 2 get the bye. And then oh my god, the ad blocker. Are you kidding me? So okay, so these are updated. Or are these predictions? These are predictions. Whatever. So, the number 1 seed, they would play the winner of the 4 versus the 5. The number 2 would play a winner of 3 versus the 6. And then so right now so the number 4 seed in the American League, that would be Toronto, and they would play Tampa. So Toronto and Tampa would play right now. And the Twins and the Mariners would play right now. And then in the National League, it would be the Padres against Wait, no. Sorry, what am I doing here? It would be St. Louis versus the Padres, and then the Braves versus the Phillies. So the number 1 seed would play the 4 versus the 5. So the Dodgers right now, they would play the winner of Atlanta and Philly. So honestly, Padres, you better just stay in that 3, man. Stay in that 3rd seed, or stay in that 3rd wild card seed, man. You don't want to play the Dodgers the first round. I mean, if you got to play them in the championship round, then okay, so be it. I actually, in a 7-game series against the Dodgers, if you're the Padres, they got good starting pitching. So, I mean, I think you would have to give the edge to the Dodgers in that, but you got good starting pitching for the Padres. So that is one thing. But right now, the Padres would not play the Dodgers in the first round. So that would be good. I think you should avoid the Dodgers as much as you can. Anyway, but the Padres, even with Juan Soto, man, they just can't figure out this Dodgers team. They did win 4 out of 5 against the Rockies, so they got off to a really good start this week. They're looking pretty good. Going into, I mean, I think everyone was as hyped as could be going into this Dodgers series, and then all of a sudden it just was deflating. Absolutely deflating. Soto has been hitting well since coming over, so that is a good sign. And so is Jerickson Profar. He's been hitting pretty well lately. Blake Snell, he had a good start this past week. Clevinger, Manaea, he did take a loss against the Dodgers this weekend, but he did have another good start against the Rockies this week. And Darvish, I believe he took the loss tonight. He pitched well against the Rockies, so they do well against the Rockies, but they can't do well against the Dodgers. But the Padres, I still think it's a really good team overall. If we take a look at the current rankings, let's pull up here over there. Here we go. Live stats over the full season as of right now. Let's see, where are they ranking? Fangraphs, you're killing me right now. Here we go. All right, so in WRC Plus, the Padres right now 16th, but this is accounting for the whole year. So let's see how they do with Juan Soto and Josh Bell, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. coming back. So that is one thing to consider. 16th as of right now. So starting pitching. Very good starting pitching this year from the Padres. 7th overall. You got to like what they're doing from their rotation. And then the bullpen, they've been pretty good too. And you just added Josh Hader, 7th overall. It's still a good team. So the Padres, to me, yeah, they looked pretty bad against the Dodgers. But, hey, I got to put them in my top 10 still. Coming in at number 8, how about the Toronto Blue Jays? I remember not too long ago, the Blue Jays, I'm thinking, what the heck is going on with this Blue Jays team, man? They look pretty good. They got off to a pretty kind of a whatever start. They got hot for a little bit there, and then they just went back to just losing and then just kind of being whatever. But they've gotten their act together over the last couple of weeks, so definitely playing better. This past week, kind of in the middle, you know, like when it comes to everything. They split with the Twins. They split with Tampa Bay. When it comes to offense, starting pitching, relief pitching, they rank right in the middle, about like 15th or 16th overall in each of those categories. Just kind of middle of the road this past week, man. But Vlad Jr., he's been hot, hitting really well lately. Teoscar Hernandez, he's also been hitting really well. Kevin Gausman has been nails his last couple of starts. He's been fantastic. But this Blue Jays team, man, they have definitely righted the ship. They're 4th in offense right now. If you take a look at the starting pitching, 10th overall. Hey, got to like that starting pitching. The bullpen has been the issue this year. 24th overall in Fangraph WAR. Anthony Bass, let's see if that can kind of help them pick up the pace a little bit. Let's actually see how they've been doing lately. Over the last 7, like I said, kind of middle of the road. I mean, actually, over the last 7, they're 21st. 0-2, but they have a 3.38 ERA. I don't like the FIP so much, a 4.45. Let's see if the bullpen, they can get their act together. But as of right now, I have the Blue Jays coming in at number 8. At number 7, I got the Phillies. Holy cow, their bats were on absolute fire this past weekend. What the heck was going on here? The Phillies, 4-game sweep over the Nationals, 36 runs scored over that series. They split with the Braves earlier in the week. Let's go take a look, man, at what these guys have been doing. Holy cow, the offense this past week. These are stats that were coming into today. Look at JT Realmuto, Alec Boehm, couple of home runs each this past week. This is not accounting for today. I'll go look at the box score in just a second. Derek Hall, man, hitting .462 over his last 4 games coming into today. Nick Castellanos, the bat, is finally coming alive. You gotta love what Nick Castellanos is doing, man. He's doing a great job. Look at Rhys Hoskins, 3 homers this past week. I mean, holy cow, man. Look at Schwarber, a couple more home runs. Man, let's go look at the box score. Oh, man, Padres. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong game. Oh, Padres. You got to start beating the Dodgers, man. Where is the Phillies box score? There it is. 13 runs today, man. Out of their mind. Schwarber, 2 for 5 out of the leadoff spot. 3 RBIs from Stott today. That's a good sign. Hey, look at Brandon Marsh, man. 2 for 4 today. The new center fielder for the Phillies. Nick Matten, man. 3 for 4 out of the 9-hole. Gotta love that. Nola, man. Looking good. 6 innings, 5 hits, 5 Ks. Man. I mean, I know it's the Nationals, but that's what you need to do. You need to be just piling it on these bad teams, man. As of right now, the Phillies looking pretty good, man. They're in a playoff spot as of right now. Taking a look at the wild card. I mean, second wild card as of right now. And they're hot lately, man. 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 5 straight. They're looking really good. And then they're going to get Harper back eventually. Oof. Phillies, man. Looking good. Starting pitching has been fantastic. We just pointed out Nola, but Nola had another good start this past week. Wheeler, Gibson, they've been killing it. Noah Syndergaard, actually, he made his first start for the Phillies this past week. I mean, not amazing. Not amazing by any means. 5 innings, 11 hits. I mean, that's a lot of hits given up. He still limited the damage to 4 runs, so that is, I guess, okay. Whatever, he was able to work out of some jams and whatnot, but he looked really hittable. Let's see if he can get that fixed up a little bit. Coming in at number 6. Man, oh man, this team's looking good lately. The St. Louis Cardinals, man, they are playing great baseball. Swept the Yankees. They've won 7 straight games. Arenado, big game today. 3 for 5, 4 RBIs, had a homer. Goldschmidt continues to hit well. Paul DeJong had a homer today. Jordan Montgomery, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs against the Yankees yesterday. Man, oh man, you got to love it, man. You got to love it. This Cardinals team, they're looking great. They're looking great. I wanted to put the Cardinals in the top 5. I did. I actually had them at number 5. But you guys know how I do this. You know how I do this. 1 week is not going. I don't like to make big changes. I mean, I know it's been like a few weeks, but whatever. The Braves I have at number 5. The Braves had, I mean, if you're just looking at this past week, the Braves, no bueno. They look terrible against the Mets, while the Cardinals have looked fantastic. I need to see another week. I want to see if the Braves can get back on track. They looked really good there for a while. A bad week, bad series against the Mets. And I'm just not ready to take them out of the top 5 just yet. I need to see another week. Just one more. If they continue to not play well and the Cardinals continue to be red hot, then yeah, the Cardinals, they'll be in the top 5 next week. I don't like to make a drastic change based off of 1 week, right? Especially with the top 5. That's just me. That's just how I do things over here. But for the Braves, while the Cardinals have been red hot, the Braves, they have not been very hot lately. Lost 4 out of 5 to the Mets over the weekend. They split with the Phillies, but they're still ranking really well with numbers. They're 8th in offense, 5th in starting pitching. They have the best bullpen this year, but it has been struggling lately. 22nd overall. Mainly a few guys, Elder, Lee, Matzik. They've not been pitching well out of that bullpen lately. But the Braves, they had a bad series against the Mets. I'm not gonna just jump to conclusions here. Let's see how the Braves and the Cardinals do this next week. And hey, maybe even the Phillies. Who knows? Maybe the Cardinals and the Braves, they're both cold this coming week, and maybe the Phillies stay red hot. Maybe it could be the Phillies at number 5 next week. I just want to see one more week. So, coming in at number 4, I got the Astros. Like I mentioned earlier, they lost 2 out of 3 to my Red Sox. They split with Cleveland. But the starting pitching for the Houston Astros, man, they have just been really good. They have the number 1 starting pitching in all of Major League Baseball this year, a 3.13 ERA, a 3.60 FIP. You don't want to go up against this Astros team in the playoffs, man. They are going to be tough. Look at the year that Verlander's having. He is 15-3 with a 1.73 ERA. Sure, that FIP is a full run higher at 2.98. But Verlander, and he's doing this without even striking out a whole bunch of guys. So he's been nasty, man. Keeping the home runs down, keeping the walks down. Framber Valdez has been really good. I feel like Framber Valdez has been kind of underrated this year. He's been pretty good. Christian Javier, he's got good numbers. Luis Garcia, pretty solid numbers. Jose Urquidy, he looked pretty good in his last start. Odorizzi's not there anymore. But this starting pitching for the Astros, man, I don't know, like Verlander in game 1, and you got Valdez game 2. Man, I wouldn't want to go up against this Astros team. I mean, even if you are somehow, if you beat the Astros, let's say the Yankees go up against the Astros and they end up beating the Astros in a playoff series, it's not going to be easy. Like, it is going to be a tough series, man, and this starting pitching has been absolute nails. The offense overall, 5th overall in WRC+. I mean, I've said this before. You've had a few guys depart over the last couple of years, but they just find ways to replenish that offense, and they're 5th overall this year. Jose Altuve, red hot lately, hitting .448 this week coming into today. Jose Altuve, his bat is on fire. Coming in at number 3. Ooh, we're down to the top. We're down to the last 3 here. Who do I got at number 3? Well, the last power rankings, I had the Yankees at number 1. I had the Dodgers at number 2. And I think I had the Astros at number 3. I believe. You know what? Let me actually pull this up. I can't fully remember. I think that's what it was. I think I had the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Astros. I see a super chat coming in. Thank you for that. I'm going to read that at the end. Skull Tayakech 84. I'll read that at the end, my friend. We're almost there. But yeah, the last power rankings we had on July 10th, I had the Yankees at number 1, the Dodgers at number 2, and the Astros at number 3. And then we had the Braves and the Mets rounding out the top 5. So, bit of a different looking top 3 right now. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I got the Yankees coming in at number 3. I mean, maybe I'm being a little drastic here, but I just think it's crazy because this Yankees team is good. But right now, they're just not playing very good. They're not playing nearly as good as these other 2 teams, man. They're not playing nearly as good lately. They got swept by the Cardinals. Montas, he looked pretty bad today. 6 earned today. First start in Yankee uniform, man. Didn't look too good. Brian Cashman did not like that. But they're still ranking really well in the numbers, man. I mean, yeah, sure, I have them at number 3, but it doesn't mean they're a bad team. I'm making it sound like they're a bad team. I'm basing it off of, I'm comparing it to what they have been. They're just not playing as good as they had. But Aaron Judge continues to be really solid. Trevino, Rizzo, they've been hitting well lately. So they're just not getting a whole lot of offense from some other guys. So everyone needs to start kind of picking it up a little bit. Starting pitching, they were the number 1 starting pitching staff in all of Major League Baseball. They have dropped to number 8. So, no bueno. Like I said, Montas, he got blown up today. Domingo Germán has looked okay the last couple of starts. So, I think Domingo Germán could end up being, someone solid at the back end of that rotation. He's been looking all right. The bullpen, They're 4th overall, but they have been struggling lately. 0-3 with a 5.34 FIP over the last 7 games. So the Yankees, they're just kind of hitting a rough spot right now, but they got swept by the Cardinals. I'm sure it did not feel very good for Jordan Montgomery to pitch well against the Yankees. Hey, man, what can you do? But I have the Yankees coming in number 3. Here we go. Number 2. I'm just going to reveal my number 2 and 1 right now. I got the Mets at number 2, and I got the Dodgers at number 1. The Mets, they have been fantastic. Wow, this Mets team, it just has a vibe about them right now. Right now, it just feels good for this Mets team. Dude, deGrom has been he was out of his mind today. Dude struck out 12 today. They won 4 out of 5 against the Braves. First off, let's just say that. They beat, and that's another reason why I have the Mets ahead of the Yankees, because they beat the Yankees twice last week. So that's another reason right there. Offense, 4th overall in the year, 6th in starting pitching. Like I said, deGrom, 12 strikeouts today. And the bullpen, as a whole, hasn't been amazing. But Edwin Diaz lately, dude, this guy's been out of his mind. Does anyone realize how good Edwin Diaz has been lately? Does anyone realize this? He's been really good. Oh, my goodness. This dude hasn't given up a run since June 18th. I mean, what the heck is going on here? This guy's been really good. Again, he has not given up a run since June 18th. That's almost 2 months. That's ridiculous. In his last 17 outings, he has not given up a run. Edwin Diaz is out of his mind. My goodness. But the Mets, man, they're looking really good lately. deGrom, we could look back, hey, Juan Soto, biggest trade at the deadline. But you could argue that Jacob deGrom getting called up from AAA was and could end up being the best move around that time period. So, I know it's not a trade, but deGrom coming back for the Mets, it's like everyone's like thinking, oh, could the Mets have done more? Could they have made another move at the deadline? When you're getting deGrom back for your rotation, that's pretty good if you ask me. But the Mets, they're playing fantastic right now. There's just a good vibe about this Mets team right now, man. They're just winning games. Dude, Pete, there's energy in that stadium. Man, they're just looking really good. But I do have the Dodgers at number 1. And to me, I know the Mets are playing great baseball lately, but the Dodgers are just right now, in my opinion, just on another level. This Dodgers team, they're out of their minds, man. They have the best record in Major League Baseball. They're 9-1 in their last 10. And actually, how many? Let's see here. They just won tonight. So how many have they won in a row now? So they've won 8 straight. So 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 8 straight games. Dude, this offense is 1st overall in Major League Baseball. Bellinger had a couple of home runs tonight. Man, let's just go pull up this offense lately, man. Or actually, they're 2nd overall. I apologize. 2nd overall, right behind the Yankees with a 120 WRC plus. But let's pull up the Dodgers. But looking at the last 7 games, actually, where was that? Let me go to that box score. So I said Bellinger had a couple of home runs tonight. Betts had a 2-for-4 game out of the leadoff spot. Betts has been looking really good, man. He's been looking really good. But, looking at him lately, this is not counting tonight, but coming into tonight, over his last 7 games, he was hitting .333, a couple of homers, 7 RBIs. Look at Max Muncy, 6 RBIs over his last 7, couple of homers as well. Bellinger, 6 RBIs coming into today. Then he had a couple of home runs tonight. Good grief. That's nice to see Bellinger swinging the stick, man. And quietly, he's at 15 home runs. I'm just saying. He's not having an amazing season. He has a .674 OPS. But could this be a guy that gets red hot over the last couple of months? They really could use it, man. But he's quietly at 15 home runs. Maybe he could end up finishing with 25. So we'll have to wait and see. But for the Dodgers elsewhere, the starting pitching has looked fantastic. Andrew Heaney, Urias, Gonsolin, they've been awesome. Anderson, he looked great tonight. Anderson has been such a good pickup for them. Kershaw, though, on the IL. What do you know? Clayton Kershaw, once again, having back issues. What do you know? Bullpen, really good lately. No earned runs from Vesia, Phillips, Moranta, Ferguson, Price, and Almonte. None of those guys have given up an earned run. They have just been out of their minds in that bullpen. To me, this Dodgers team, they're the number one team in my opinion. Quite a change from the last power rankings. Again, we had the Yankees at number 1, Dodgers at number 2, Astros at number 3, Braves at 4, and then the Mets at 5. So the Mets have climbed up to the number 2 spot. The Dodgers are in the number 1 spot. The Yankees have fallen to number 3. Astros moved down a spot, and as well as the Braves. So these are my power rankings for this week. In the top 10, we have at number 10, the Rays. Number 9, the Padres, the Blue Jays. At number 8, the Phillies at 7, Cardinals at 6, Braves at 5, Astros at 4, Yankees at 3, Mets at 2, and the Dodgers at number 1. So we have a couple of super chats that I saw. So let's take this time here and let's go over some super chats. Here we go. So yeah, that feels nice to just get the power rankings done. Feels nice. That way we can just kind of pay attention to some super chats. Alrighty, so I know we had a couple there. Let's pull these up here. Alright, so, alright, I set up the screen. Let's see if this ends up working. Alright, so let's see how that looks. Alright, cool. Alright, so, from Skull TYA Catch 84, $5 super chat. If the Twins didn't get hosed today on the play at the plate and beat the Jays 3 out of 4, would you still have 12? I think they would be in that range. I feel like that's kind of maybe 12, maybe 11. At number 11, I don't know. I like the Mariners right now. I would still probably put the Mariners at number 11. I mean, I definitely think there would have been a consideration for the Twins for me at number 11 and then the Mariners at number 12. So, yeah, they pulled it out today, absolutely. So, I feel like I still would have kept the Mariners at number 11. But, yeah, I definitely think I would have considered it a little bit more. Thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. Thank you. Conman752, what's going on, my friend? O's play 16 of the next 17 versus the Jays, the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Rays. So this stretch will really show where the team actually stands. Elias has come out and says this off season will be liftoff from here. Dude, Conman, I've been saying this. The Orioles, man, they're gonna go after someone, man. They went after Carlos Correa in the offseason. They did it, man. They're gonna go out and get someone, man. You know, the fact that they were going after Correa, and who knows, maybe they'll go after him again. Maybe. Why not? I think Correa, man, after seeing how the Orioles are doing, maybe that's an organization that he would like to be a part of. Who knows? I definitely think the Orioles are going to get someone. I don't know who it's going to be, but we'll just have to wait and see. And then Brandon Dillman, Trey Turner. I'm telling you, I think they're either going to get Carlos Correa or Trey Turner. I think I've been saying Trey Turner for the Orioles for a little while, but man, I could see Correa too go make another run at him if he decides to be a free agent, which I think he will. I don't see why he wouldn't want to test free agency. But, all right, everyone. That is all I have for tonight. That's all I got for tonight. Ran through the power rankings pretty quick tonight. Pretty quick. You know, honestly, that was my goal for tonight. Hey, this week, it's going to be a busy week for me. I got the first day of school coming up. I've said this a million times, but in case you don't know, I am a teacher. And our first day of school is this Wednesday. It's going to be a busy week. Tomorrow night, I will most likely be live for the Believe in Red Sox podcast. So Red Sox fans, come out to that tomorrow night. We got quite a few new subscribers tonight, so I want to say thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the super chats tonight. Really appreciate that. And everyone, if you can, on your way out, hit that like button for me. Hit the bell button. Share any of the content on the channel if you can. But everyone, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get myself some sleep. I am tired. I was also under the weather this past weekend. I caught myself a pretty good cold on Friday night. I had Meet the Teacher on Friday night. Got to meet some of my students that are going to be in my class. And I got home that night, and I'm like, man, not feeling all that great. I wasn't really like sick feeling, but like I had like no energy. I was going to go to the gym. I took like a nap. And then all of a sudden, I woke up like an hour and a half later. I'm like, oh, my God, I feel like garbage. And then yesterday, I was sick as a dog all day, man. I was laying in my bed basically all day. And then, yeah, feeling better today. So, but yeah, I definitely did not have a lot of energy this past weekend. I actually thought about moving the power rankings to tomorrow night because I was just like lacking energy. But I'm glad we got on here, and I'm glad we pulled it out. So, everyone, we'll be back with Power Rankings next Sunday. I'm sure I'm going to be live. Like I said, I'll probably be live tomorrow night as well for the Believe in Red Sox podcast. But I'm actually, everyone, I got 267 of you here in the chat. I think I'm going to be bringing back hot takes. Hot takes. Be on the lookout this week. I'm going to post something in the community tab. And I would like to maybe get back to doing some hot takes. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So everyone, I'm going to get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your night. Have a good start to your week tomorrow night. And I'll talk to you next time.